want to know how, as a DJ, are you able to provide the momentum or the soundtrack for so many people's lives, as a DJ?
Yeah. I'll tell you, what I love is the fact that, okay, so I was kind of a cheap DJ. When I first started DJing, my first experience going beyond all of the learning technology shit, that's kind of a boring story, but I had to learn even how to what are they using as a DJ? What is a DJ? What do they use? How do they use it? What is this thing between record players? Because they were record players, not turn. Then I learned about turntable platters and turntables and blah, blah, blah. This is now 1980.
Okay.
So, being a DJ, I learned that when you play the music, man, and they dance, that's it. It ain't nothing else. They forget about everything. Look, I seen gangsters finna fight. Man, hook the speakers up, watch this. Put on a record, and then they dancing together.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, DJs, they give us that momentum. I fell in love with a DJ because he played his song so nice, you know what I mean? So I know what DJs do.
We got power.
Y'all got power, you know what I'm saying? And it's like once you realize you have that control, then you can sort of proceed with setting the atmosphere for wherever it is that you are. That's what's so great about a DJ. And you're like one of the best ones. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
and
you.
Speaking about one of the best ones, let's talk a little bit about your experience with working with Dr. Dre on The Chronic. Because, dude, you are the secret GOAT of the West Coast. You are behind everything that, is winning. Everything we were able to get back on the map with. And with that record, that kind of set everything up for the West Coast to the point that if it don't sound like that, we ain't trying to eat it. So let's talk about your involvement with that, because that's huge.
Okay, so it's funny. So what happens is, I did a record, Reckless, right? The one you was talking about, and it sells, the soundtrack record sells 4 or 5 million copies. We get these plaques, right? So I wanted that award. I got it. First time out, got a platinum. We was like, where to go? It was like, this is better.
Yeah,
okay,
way better.
We'll take better. So from that, I stopped doing rap, and I wanted to try to be back to R&B. Like, remember that record? I wanted another one like that. All them records was R&B. We just happened to, they called from Reckless, and they called from Polydor and said, can you make one of those talk records from a thing in the movie? So fast forward to Dre. I meet Dre in 1989 in my front yard.
Okay.
He comes over with my best friend at the time, Dave Jaquette. And Dave's like, this is my boy Dre. He says, I told him you do music. He said, take me over there. Because everybody didn't do music back then. Now everybody has something in music, some sort of hole or stop. But back then it was very few and far between. Especially, he would tell him like, no, he goes to the studio, like the big studio. He was telling him something like that. So, I had my boy Dave in state-of-the-art spots. He didn't know that top of studios until later.
Right.
But so Dre comes in my house. I play him some music, and we talk a few times. And then he's like, I need somebody that can, kind of do what I do. And he was trying to explain that he was a full producer. He mixed and blah, blah, blah. And I said, yeah, I'll do all that. Most people don't believe that. They know I'm a DJ. But that's it. I'm only the guy who he rapped about in Reckless. I produced it with Dave. We did the whole thing. Matter of fact, I called Ice-T. Like, hey, that's the only rapper I knew. It would have been rapped by Dr. Dre.
True.
I only knew Ice-T. There weren't no rappers.
Y'all
hear
so
me,
when you
right?
was working with Dre on The Chronic,
well, I was hitting that right there for you, love.
Okay.
I'm not gonna drift on that, but the thing is with Dre, once we were with Ruthless, and then we left Ruthless to go and create Death Row, and that's where I'm instrumental. The Chronic came from us talking about what music we wanted to do, We produced a few songs. Dre produced a few songs in between. John Singleton had a movie, Boys in the Hood. He had a song on it, and used a Johnny Guitar Watson sample, and we was going towards those kind of samples. So I was like, bro, we need to like just get those keyboards. Now it's funny, when I first learned the organ, there was no instruments. Now I'm doing the Chronic, and all the keyboards are now old. The ones we want to use. So I said, bro, I was working on a record. I said, I got like, come look up in the attic. And it was like 10 different Mini Moog, Art Odyssey, all that old shit, right?
Right.
Bro, we need to take this and use this instead of sampling. Like, we talked together and came to the conclusion. Then this G Thing, Let Me Ride, Dre Day. See what I'm saying? Parliament.
Yes.
The influence. So that's me. I like G-Funk because I know it's glove funk, but everybody else thinks it's something else, so I let them have it. But I know I talked to Dre and we came to a conclusion, and then he made this record with not just me, but several. But I was instrumental in items in his brain, more so than just the tracks. I did put a song on that Chronic album, and I mixed it with Greg Royal. Shout out to Greg, because we knew the studio. So the thing that I like to tell people is that during these times is when I introduced Dr. Dre to the SSL.
Okay. And I know we can go on and on about the whole Dr. Dre thing, you know, because it's such a huge part of just everything, especially the legacy on the West Coast.
And the Chronic.
And the Chronic.
That is out.
Yeah. So, I mean, gosh, we're going to have to roll back around on that one, Chris. What you lighting up, son?
Sweets. It's my brand. We haven't got to that yet. We're going to get right to that.
Yeah, get right to that. And you know what? Since you lighten up, I might as well lighten it up. Let's take it to the grill, fam. Let's take it to the grill. Burn some stuff up.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And on the grill, we talking Reckless today. Chris, we talking Reckless. Not only as that being one of your most instrumental songs that you put out and it's opened so many doors, but I want to talk about what Reckless means as it refers to the DJ when you was back in the day. You was cutting and scratching, you know what I mean, and manipulating and remixing. What are we doing now with this new DJ thing? Talk to me about Reckless versus like the new DJ, because I don't think they reckless. I think they just less. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just trying to keep it gangster. You know what I mean? That's what I do on Sundays. Chris, I keep it gangster. So let's talk Reckless and give me your expert opinion, because after all, you are the glove.